Hi, everyone, and welcome to TDL Live. Yeah!
Roll right in.
All right. TDL Live, 9 o'clock Monday, and we are live, and we're putting all that earnings stuff behind us.
I don't even know where it is.
I don't know either, except for those of you who didn't watch the quarterly earnings show. We'll just real quickly give you the numbers.
Oh, God.
One more time.
Are we doing that?
I don't even have the numbers. $1.19 per share, earnings per share.
31% growth.
$7.4 billion in revenue, and the stock's down $17.
$2 million max, something or other.
But enough about that. Let's get to the news.
Let's do it. Should I jump right in?
Can you imagine that this entire 5-gallon bowl is filled up to the 1-inch mark with the latest Apple news and rumors? And please play along TDL Live via iChat or AOL Instant Messenger. What do you have for us, sir?
I'm not sure. I think I have a two.
Oh, it's a installer you have to put together.
Oh, Mac Cloner Star. Headquarters put on the market. Price for a quick sale. Turbulence.
Turbulence at Pasai Star?
Yeah. So, which leads to another story that might be in here. Ooh. That's a normal segment that we always have.
Lawsuit of the week. Let's hit it.
So, are we gonna?
Let's do it now.
All right.
Let's get all of our Pasai Star out of our system.
Pasai Star.
Out of our system.
So Apple's like, what are you doing? You can't do that, man. You're totally not cool.
You're totally playing up the Apple hippie stereotype.
It's totally not cool to put our OS on your hardware. And that's basically the gist of the story. So they're like, cease and desist, man. And so these people are like, quick, let's sell all our stuff before we're out of business, because we're going to be out of business. Done. Well, just a little anecdote about our friends at Pasai Star.
Yeah. About a month ago, we put in a request for a review unit to see exactly how the Pasai Star would stack up.
They don't have like a phonetic
against
dashes.
No. Against the PSMac Mini.
Yeah.
And we were told that due to popular demand, they would not be able to send us a review unit. However, they would offer us free shipping if we wanted to buy one.
Right.
So,
which then made me ask the question, what's the return policy?
There you go. What's the restock?
And can we get free return shipping?
Well, everybody might be getting return shipping because as part of the lawsuit, Apple is asking for every Pasai Star that shipped to be back, where eventually it'll be destroyed and put out in the field with the leases.
Hopefully you used a fictitious name and a fake address, so they won't be able to come and find you and take your Mac clone.
Catching some grief in the chat room, being told this is not a 5-gallon fishbowl.
Probably not.
We will fill it with water next week and find out. Between now and then, we can't fill it during the show because then the news would be wet, of course.
Yeah, and it would run. I mean, we don't have that kind of ink here.
Am I going in?
You're going in.
Okay. Lots of news. Mix it up. Keep it fresh. I don't want that tiny one. Let's.
Easy now.
Apple opens first retail store in China.
Awesome.
I would give you a warm hello in Chinese, but I don't know it.
I hear that's a tough language. Let's not butcher it.
Let's not. And relations are on a razor's edge, and I'd hate to be the one to push it over the edge. So right ahead of the Olympics, which start next month in
8808.
8808? Is that really the beginning of the Olympics?
8808.
That's very clever. Bring your smog filter, and you'll be able to watch the games. But if the air gets to be too much, head to your Apple retail store, opened on the 19th.
They promise to have clean air.
No. 10 a.m. local time, the store opened, and all reports are it's a big hit so far.
Why wouldn't it be? Let's be honest, folks.
You're right.
Why wouldn't it be?
I wanted to make sure it really would be a big hit, and you are correct, sir.
I'm going in. What do we got? Mobile Me users get 30-day extension. Hope you got that email. If not, check your spam filters.
Last week we were complaining about some Mobile Me issues.
Availability issues, yeah.
And as usual, Apple's like, well, if it's on the TDL radar, we got to address this.
Absolutely. Yeah, they were caught with their proverbial pants down. And we're like, sorry, we really botched that. Here's an extra 30 days. Which, by the way, I have not seen reflected on my account. Have you seen that reflected on your account?
I have not looked at my... You're looking at your end date of your...
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because my end date is rapidly approaching, so throw mine on.
Wow.
Tack it on.
Wow.
Tack it on. Extra 30 days. And they also said that we're really sorry that we called it push.
And you complained about this.
Yeah, because that's really kind of misleading. It's going to take about 15 minutes for your desktop computer to reflect the changes that you make on your iPhone or on the website. So we're really sorry about that, and we're going to discontinue using that term because we're not up to speed, but we want to be. So there is promise of hope there. And they're not going to call it that.
Longtime TDL viewers will know that occasionally I like to throw a crazy tinfoil hat idea out there, conspiracy theory, and I'd like to throw one out for you this evening. So you have the .Mac to Mobile Me transition. Now, prior to the Mobile Me transition, .Mac kind of languished. Apple didn't do a lot with it.
Right.
That's bullet item number 1 to my little theory here.
Okay.
Number 2.
You should have a whiteboard.
The launch is a little bumpy. It's a bumpy launch.
Yeah, you could say that.
Kind of out of character for Apple.
True.
Number 2. Number 3, here we have Apple pretty much admitting that push really isn't push.
Yeah.
And again, really out of character. There have been issues with things like dithering on the screen and colors and all that. And it's very rare. Apple might quietly change the thing to correct it, but they very rarely come out and say, hey, you know what, we were wrong about this.
Yeah.
Which leads to my theory. The Mobile Me service is outsourced.
No.
I don't think it is Apple engineers who are running Mobile Me. It ties in, it dovetails with the theory that Apple folks are already stretched too thin. So some people who really know Web 2.0 and the applications might be working on this, and that's why it's not quite an Apple experience. I have nothing to back this up. That's why it's just a conspiracy theory, but that doesn't mean it won't become a blog. If I make a note here, it will be a blog. You're saying no, just craziness.
No, I'm saying craziness. Yeah, I think
Okay.
.Mac is totally in-house. Now, is
.Mac was. It's Mobile Me. I'm telling you, Mobile Me is not an Apple product.
I'm old school. I threw it old school. I kick it old school.
You do kick it.
I kick it. So yeah, I think it's totally in-house. I don't think Apple likes to outsource anything other than its manufacturing because it's cheaper.
Okay. Just to go along with this, the 30-day extension for Mobile Me, and there was a little bit of a hullabaloo about this whole thing, but frankly, compared to how vocal at least the coverage of the initial phone issues, and this was the subject of a blog, you would think they would be more likely to give a free month to all the phone issue people than to the Mobile Me folks. Matt Girl, are you having trouble with Adam Ford's audio right now?
Mine?
Yeah, he is on a red flash.
I'm on a red flash.
He's on a red flash. We will get him powered up. You're going to have to go into Studio C.
I'm going to have to talk like this.
Oh my goodness, please don't. Well, why don't I just talk until you get batteries? I think I can do that.
Filler.
Is it? Am I good to? Is it my turn to pull? Because that will.
That was just me.
That will take some time right there. While I'm doing this, a couple of reminders. Please stop by the blog. If you're not visiting the blog,
absolutely,
you're missing half the site. Let's be honest. And you will read about such insights as this conspiracy theory I'm putting together.
Can I? Well, I will.
I wish you could talk.
I will.
Hold on to it. You can talk briefly. Oh, come on now. Okay. All right. Very good. Those were put on the table, and just no one will ever know that you're doing that.
Bear with me.
So while you take care of that, Apple prepping for notebook refresh? I would say yes, because they have to refresh them sometime, and what better time than today? Well, not today, but soon. So we'll probably see new notebooks soon. It's the rumor goes that it's a new aluminum design. This is from Mac Rumors. By the way, not in the Story Bowl, but I did want to point out that our friend Arnold Kim over at Mac Rumors, there was a write-up in the Times this past week. He said, "You know what? I'm not gonna operate on people anymore. I'm done saving lives with this PhD thing. Folks have to know more about their Apple gadgets." And so he's going full-time on his blog. I've been a big Mac Rumors fan for many years, so I wish him well. And to those of you with heart trouble, get in line. They'll get to you. Are you powered up?
I'm powered up.
Okay.
I'm live.
You were muted for a while there.
I was.
You wanted to.
It was censorship at its finest.
You wanted to touch upon something though while you were muted.
Yeah. So I'm not sure. If you've all been around the blog recently, but I spent the better part of last week checking out the local Apple store in the morning to see what the situation was surrounding the phone, and I was surprised. We were taking bets last week when I said that I was going to do this. We were taking bets as to whether or not we would find a line there pre-store opening, and I believe if we were to go back in time and had that functionality, we would be able to replay you saying that there would be nobody there.
That's true.
And sure enough, on day one, about a dozen people there. So this was last Tuesday. About a dozen people in line.
So when you say day one, it's really day 4 of the phone being out.
Yeah. So last Tuesday.
After this show.
After the show. So day
the
one.
Next day.
Yeah. I'm calling it day one. About a dozen people were in line as of a little before 8 o'clock in the morning. Mind you, the store does not open until 10 o'clock in the morning. The line was there, and people just kept coming minute by minute. And sure enough, going down the hallway of the mall before any stores are open, there's a line to get the iPhone. Now, even better than that was when I got there on Wednesday, about 30 people in line, same hour of the morning, and they just kept coming. And the store was doing some crazy thing with Post-it notes and was like trying to pre-qualify people and all kinds of stuff 2 hours before the store opened. It's unbelievable.
So what I'm curious about is whether people are lining up or were lining up, or they might still be lining up, even at stores where the Apple website indicates there's no stock. Because when you look at the stock after 9 o'clock, it's telling you whether there's stock to be there the next day at open.
Right.
And so do people line up and just hope that there's stock? Because I know some of the days you went there, some of the models were already sold out. Not necessarily all of them.
Right.
But some of the models were sold out at that store.
Yeah.
So are people lining up and just hoping the FedEx truck comes with more phones?
Well, see, it's interesting because who knows whether or not... It said that they would have them the next day. It didn't say that they would have them at open the next day.
Exactly.
So these people could have waited until 10 o'clock open, and the truck might not have gotten there until 10:30, 11, 12. Who knows how long it was? I mean, you really could spend the good majority of your day waiting in line for a phone that you might not get, especially if you're number 60 in line.
And calling on our previous retail experience, there wasn't necessarily a set time that truck was there every day with products. So I was just going to take a quick look and see how we're doing on the old where to buy. You want to poll?
Just do the
retail.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're just going to take a look. I know going into today, the phone was sold out in 38 states, basically everywhere except for New York and California. So we'll take a look at the availability because it's just after 9 o'clock here on the East Coast at least. And let's see if we can find our availability here. We're going to check the Philadelphia area first.
We got a green light. We're green lit.
Will be in stock at this store tomorrow.
Yep.
So I get the, where's that chart where I get to see which models? Here we go.
Yeah.
So all three at the King of Prussia store, for those in the Philadelphia region. There are other Philadelphia region stores, specifically the Ardmore store, not going to have the 16 gig in either color, but they will have the 8 gig. So it's not as if stock is suddenly available everywhere.
Right.
And if you're in Pittsburgh, you're out of luck. No stock at open tomorrow. Well, tomorrow. We don't really know the time
tomorrow.
specifically.
Yeah, exactly. But your best bet, if you are in the Philly area, is King of Prussia. They're going to have all three models.
Let's real quickly, if we could, check California, which we're not entirely sure if this updates.
No, it's local time.
It's local time.
Yeah, it's confirmed local time.
Okay.
So.
But earlier today, there was, I'll say 50-50.
It was definitely hit or miss.
By the way, folks, don't forget, feel free, send us an iChat, TDL Live via AOL or Instant Messenger. Okay, next story.
All right, rolling into it. AT&T's free Wi-Fi hotspot access for iPhones finally announced.
Awesome! Yes!
To bring you down.
What?
To bring you down.
But it was up.
But then they were like, sorry, we shouldn't have done that.
But then it was up again.
We still don't know what's going on and can't control our publishing, our web publishing. So...
month 4, I believe, of this debacle.
So basically the story goes, AT&T has once again posted information on their website indicating that all iPhone customers have free access to the more than 17,000 Wi-Fi hotspots across the U.S., including Starbucks locations. update. AT&T says they made a by posting that page and have made no announcements.
Okay, are you ready?
They didn't make an announcement.
Are you ready? Are you ready for the conspiracy theory on this one?
Go right ahead.
Are you ready?
Sir. Go right ahead.
I believe, stick with me.
I'm trying.
I believe that AT&T really only wanted this to apply to the 3G iPhone. Kind of an extra perk for having a 3G iPhone. And that's why it went up, and then they're like, no, put it down. And now they're like, well, now everyone's seen it, and we kind of have to make it available for all the iPhones. Just turn it on. What's the big deal?
It's not ready, man.
What needs to be ready?
It's not ready.
It was up at one point. People were seeing login screens.
There's not
they could
enough
get in.
product in the channel.
That's not product, it's bits. Don't give me product.
They're going to wait until the channel is fully stocked with enough Wii's. And
you're referencing an earlier show.
They will open the floodgates.
I mean, really? What's the deal? It's
just a giant router shortage.
This is a new segment called "What's the Deal." Maybe they're trying to get the equipment out of the 600 Starbucks that are closing now.
It could be.
Maybe there's an oopsie.
Yeah, well, it was a rental. It was just a rental.
They need to redeploy. All right,
you're up.
I am going in.
Come on, take the lame one.
Well, I know. Can I pull another one if I do the lame one?
No.
Well, then it's just gonna stay in there. All right.
Somehow this will work out to you picking that.
No, it will not. Sneaky Apple. You remember a while back, there was the whole iTunes update that said to Windows users, oh, by the way, do you know about that Safari?
Yeah.
You need that Safari. You don't have the latest Safari. You want me to go ahead and install Safari? And Windows users were up in arms. They're like, oh my goodness, we've never seen software like this that tries to sneak something onto our computer. Why, when we get our new Dell and there's all that what's the word, crapware with all those icons.
Everybody loves desktop shortcuts.
Oh, we are, how dare ye, Apple? Well, they're up to, quote unquote, their old tricks because the latest iTunes update 7.7 installs a preference panel or control panel, for those of you on your PCs, for Mobile Me.
Terrible.
The nerve.
To let you control that.
The nerve to let you control Mobile Me.
Totally absurd.
From your PC. Now, granted, it does not set up a trial account. It does not ask you for credit card information to get billed for the service.
Yeah.
Seems to me fairly harmless, and frankly,
storage is at a premium, though.
At some point here, I think it's just that this is the method to get to those computers.
That could easily be a couple K, even maybe a couple megs, and you're just not going to be able to pirate that last song.
It's not as if Apple is, Microsoft's not going to say, hey, why don't you use our system for software updates to get your stuff onto the computer?
Yeah.
So this is the method by which Apple is making updates available.
Right.
I personally think this is less offensive than the whole Safari thing. That to me was a little forward and a little pushy,
right? Because
it actually was a piece of software that maybe you didn't have and maybe you didn't have any interest in.
Well, see, Apple has to find a way to make this stuff work nicely on the Windows-based machines, and
Microsoft's got a 20-year head start and they can't get it to work.
Right, exactly. Exactly. So, if throwing a little software on there that's going to make, if you are a Mobile Me user, a little more friendly, a little easier to deal with.
So be it.
So be it.
Right? I mean, you're able to access this stuff from a PC.
Right.
And so why not make that be the method by which people can get it? You obviously don't have to use it. But Ars Technica is reporting this. They're referring to the Software 3, the Safari 3 rather, forced update as a kerfluffle. I don't know if it rose to the level of a kerfluffle.
I'm not familiar with that.
We'll have to check on a Wikipedia. I do not think it. I think
we'll have to check a strong reference guide,
like the Wikipedia.
Wikipedia.
So don't go change the entry for kerfluffle until we check it. I think that's a step below debacle. Mac Girl says yes.
Okay, I'll go with that.
Hey, maybe you'll get that little one.
I will choose not to pick.
If you choose the little one, you can pull another one.
I don't want to.
All right, fine.
Virginia Tech builds new Mac cluster. So, for those of you who don't know, Virginia Tech had the, I guess it was Mac Pro. Well, it wasn't Mac Pros, it was Power Macs.
It was back in the G5
Yeah, it was Power Mac G5s, and just a boatload of them all connected together doing math.
It was a supercomputer. I don't remember the exact ranking, but I know it was like in the top 50, and it was a big deal. And they had all this press information about how much superior the G5 chip was, and oh my goodness, we couldn't hope to do this with an Intel chip. Well,
here we are.
Here we are.
Virginia Tech has just built a new Mac cluster. It consists of 324 8-core Mac Pros, linked via 40. What?
Maybe you should skip that.
Gigabit
part.
Per second? Is that what that is? 40 gigabit?
What? I'm sorry. I didn't.
Gigabit?
Gigabit.
Giga per second.
Just kind of mumble that part.
Wired connection. They were in the news a few years ago. Okay, then we already
System X.
Right. So they did it again, and maybe they'll tell us what they're doing.
Maybe they're using Psi stars.
I don't think they are.
Because they did do servers there at the Psi star.
So Virginia Tech, give us a call. We'd like to hear from you and see what you think of your new setup. And can we play World of Warcraft on it?
Do you play World of Warcraft?
I don't, but I was thinking of a game.
You were just referencing for the kids?
Yes.
I don't play either.
For all the hip youngsters out there.
Okay. I'm glad you picked a game that's on the Mac. It would have been embarrassing
if it was like
a console game or something.
I don't know that many games though.
iPhones are gone. They're hard to find. Okay, here we go.
I knew it. I knew you'd pick it.
What?
But he just remembered.
What?
That's fine.
Okay. I don't want to do this one. But I will. Hackers unite. The iPhone 3G has been hacked. Eureka. It has been jailbroken, but not unlocked. So you still can't use it on another carrier. But if
so what did they break open?
Well, essentially this means that you can install applications as if the App Store didn't exist with all those free applications. You can now install again the applications that didn't come from the App Store and may be a little suspicious, although I know there's a story in there about a suspicious app, but we'll get to that. So in hacker jargon, it's been pwned. I don't know how I would, how would I,
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. That thing like owned, except the O's a P.
Pwned.
There's no O, Mac Girl. She's saying pwned. There's no.
Could be. I don't really know.
Apostrophe.
Well, not according to our friends at Apple 20.
Know. I don't game enough.
Apple 2.0, not Apple 20. I'm looking at the URL. Yeah, you don't game enough?
Yeah, I think that's a gaming term. Like you got pwned.
So 8 days after the launch of the phone, the international team of programmers announced on Saturday the device has been controlled or compromised, is what I'll use. The group, which calls itself the iPhone Dev Team, which I think is a great name because people get confused. Like, wait, Apple's development team put this out in the wild?
That's totally a legitimate name. That's kudos.
So basically, again, third-party software will work, and but you can't change carrier. Back in February, Apple gave some information on how many phones they estimated were out there and unlocked, and it was surprising. They said anywhere between 800,000 and 1.5 million phones. We didn't hear anything about that in today's conference call, and the assumption was that with the 3G phone, the way it worked and the way you had to buy it and activate it and the wider availability, that hopefully there wouldn't be as many phones available unlocked. So again, jailbroken, but not unlocked.
Yeah. I think their team name should have been We Hack Your Stuff.
Very subtle.
Yeah. Not like iPhone Dev Team. We hack your stuff. If you got stuff, we will hack it.
Let me just I'm doing a quick Mac Pro temperature check. Make sure the show's not melting down because it's so hot.
Whoa!
Go to the bowl.
Tally ho.
Go to the bowl. Don't forget, folks, all of our show notes will be in the forum after tonight's show, and feel free to chat with each other. It'll be in there after tonight's show, maybe not immediately after, but at some point after the show notes will be in there, and so will last week's.
I was just looking at this because it's just so upsetting.
Oh, okay. So let's go into the next story.
This is very upsetting.
Feel free to discuss what we discussed. Go continue the conversation in the forums. I'm sorry, Adam. I know this one cuts close to your heart. Go ahead.
So last week, I think I talked to you all about a game that I'm playing on the iPhone. It's a free game. A family member tipped me off to it, and I've recommended it, which makes me feel really good right here to I don't know how many thousand people. So Yeah, and of course I forgot the name of the game last time. It's Aurora Feint, and the title of this article is Aurora Feint, the iPhone's first spyware. Very upsetting, and there's technicalities to this which you'll be able to read in the full article. I'm not going to get into it here. Basically what it does, it creates a copy of your email addresses, phone numbers in your contact list, and stores them in a secret directory on your iPhone. This is a little bit suspicious because the information then gets transmitted to the Aurora Feint servers.
I brought this one to your attention, and I know you needed a moment.
I did.
Like, what?
I was like, this is.
So we'll give everyone at home a
what moment? Yeah, have a what moment. Now, granted, so I believe that the answer directly from the company was that we use this information for the community aspect of the game because you basically create a character and you can. Invite other people as to make characters and become part of the game.
But why would you need their phone number?
Well, because you know what? I'm not actually sure.
Okay.
I don't know. I could say that I do,
okay.
But I'm not actually sure. I don't know. I don't remember when I was setting my account up.
But there weren't any options in there like call a friend to join you in a game. I mean,
no. Maybe it texts. Maybe it does one of those text things to send you a link to it. Mm-hmm. They're not selling it or doing anything else with your data. So yeah, just personal data is only used for community feature. We store the email and phone number that you enter in the community tab on our web servers. If you explicitly type it in so that other people may find and compare their stats with your character. So it seems like we store your stuff, you kind of have to type it in. Somehow,
so
it's kind of sketchy.
It's not right. It's not necessarily spyware so much as either being poorly written or just being not the best way to handle this data.
Right. I mean, it doesn't seem like it's malicious or it's like selling your information to anybody or that they're using it for anything too crazy. I mean, it seems like it's a relevant sort of thing, but they should make it known.
Right.
And there should be some kind of, hey, we're gonna store your information. Mm-hmm. We're not going to use it. Right. It's not going to be accessible to anybody, but you should be aware of it because it is out there and could be potentially compromised. So
and we were ahead of the curve on this because if you go into the blog, there's a blog entry about some changes we would like to see to the App Store, and one of them involves what's happening with this data. Where is this data being stored? When you download an app that keeps all of your passwords, where are they?
But see, here's the thing. I think that this is just the first indication of this. I think that there's plenty of apps out there that are doing the exact same thing and just haven't been out, I want to say ousted. It makes it sound worse than it probably really is with this game, but I think that probably a lot of apps are doing this behind the scenes that are storing information and not making it known. And I think that you make a good point. Apple should have a set policy that if this is what you're going to do through our device, you need to tell people about it. You absolutely need to tell people about it because it's if I didn't read this, I wouldn't know. Now, am I going to stop playing the game? Probably not. I'll be honest. I'm probably not going to stop playing. I'm probably not going to stop playing the game. It is fun.
Okay.
And I don't think they're really doing anything. I personally don't think that they're doing anything malicious with it.
Okay.
Maybe I'm a little too trusting, but
wow.
Yeah. User beware.
User beware.
User beware.
So when I go to take a picture with the iPhone, now that it's got the 2.0 software, right? I get the dialog box asking to allow or not allow location information. Why can't we have an allow or not allow that says, hey, this app is going to send this information back to its server.
Right.
Do you want it to do this?
Right.
And then allow or not allow.
Yeah.
I'd rather see that. I don't care. My picture, I want an allow always for the camera and always allow. So I don't have to press another button each time I take a picture. But that's a whole other discussion. And again, it's in the blog. Folks, it's that time. The last story.
That's you. This is me. Yep.
I'm trembling. It's always very nerve-wracking when we get to this point. Okay, so, excuse me. As we discussed, the iPhone, the initial launch of the iPhone had a lot of people interested in buying the phone. People lined up for hours, bought the phone. Still a little difficult to find the phone. It seems like 50-50 whether your store is going to have it or not tomorrow.
Yeah.
Here in the U.S., and Apple says, darn the torpedoes, we're going to another 20 countries August 22nd.
That's right. Let's do it.
Full speed ahead.
Woo.
Even if we only have 3 for each country, we got to get this in more countries.
And we want, if you're going to go when that gets announced, you better tell us about it.
And you better go live with a feed for us.
Hell
So my question here is, does this mean there's plenty of stock sitting somewhere, they can crank these out quickly enough, or do you think they're more concerned with having the presence in these countries and then they'll figure out how to get enough phones?
No, because, the product has to be localized. So the product has to be in the right packaging, with the right language on it. The materials in it have to have the right language on it. Mm-hmm. Different symbols are required, different compliances required for products in different countries. So you really have to create the device for the particular country that you're selling it in.
Okay.
So what you're making for the U.S. isn't going to be exactly the same as what you're making for other countries. So I think that they're full steam ahead cranking them out for all the different countries.
Cranking them out. Okay, your vote's cranking them out. We'll see when we get closer. We'll see if these supply issues kind of clear themselves up as we move forward. And that's going to do it for another edition of TDL Live. Mm-hmm. Don't forget, we're here every Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. And I'd mentioned it last week. I'm still not ready to give details on this, but we're going to start doing some sort of dayside, as we say in the industry, a daytime show as well. So
is it a soap?
It might be the first soap related to Apple. Who knows? But just stay tuned for more details on that and some exciting new ways to get TDL programming. But all that
good
next time. All right, folks. Thanks for joining us again, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye, everybody.